Hello and welcome to this tutorial, which will help you combine the assignment called Word2, combining documents and inserting a table. And that's exactly what the assignment is about. The two main topics are how to combine documents into one and also working with tables along with all kinds of other skills. The first thing you need to do is from this module to download two documents called Document 1 and Document 2 and open both. I'm going to scroll up so you can see where they are. Here they are. Easiest way to download them is not even to click on them, but just to pull down this little, we call it a caret, and download and download. Now, if you can see them in your downloads in your browser, great. You can, click and open them. Here's one. And here's the other. And if not, they're going to be found in your downloads folder. So on Mac, it means, clicking on the Finder. It opens a dialog, and here are my downloads. If you're a Windows user, click on the file browser icon, the one that looks like a, like a yellow folder, and that will open the same dialog. And if you arrange your downloads by date, you should find both of them. The idea is, one way or another, you downloaded both, you opened both. Here's the idea. These are two different documents. The content doesn't matter, but they I want to combine them into one document and then add things. And the challenge is that also they have a different look to them, and I want to not only combine them, but unify them, to make them look, coherent and cohesive as if they always belonged in one document. So going back to the instructions, on Windows, when you open documents which you did not create, there's a very good chance that a strip called Enable Editing will show up. We discussed it before, and of course, you'll click Enable Editing. Then we're going to start our own document, a new one, a blank one, under File, New, or when you launch Word, for the first time, it might show, new from template, blank document, or any other way to create a blank document. And we're going to save it as the instructions say. Make sure it isn't any other template other than blank. Save the new document as your last name, Word2, combine and table. And of course, you're going to save it where you usually save things, totally up to you. On Windows, the File tab is going to be to the left, of course, of the home. On Mac, it's a separate menu at the very top of the screen. We discussed already Save As. Now, let's say that my name is Smith. I'm pretending to be the student named Smith. So it's going to be Smith, Word2, combine and table. Where do I save it? I'm going to save it into Documents as long as I know where it is. And again, it's to my Mac. We discussed it before. Don't save to, or don't do your only save to OneDrive or any other cloud-based storage. I believe in saving to a local place and using cloud as your backup. Back to this. Recommended, save into your local documents folder, not to an online cloud storage as OneDrive. In the document, we're going to type your last name, Word2, combine and table, and designate that as a title. Set font to 20. So, I don't need it to be bold. I just copied it because I felt like, I didn't want to type it, but maybe typing it would be a better thing. In any case, if I expand this, and I don't want to expand it too much because I want to see the menus on the top. I'm going to designate that as a title. As we discussed in the previous assignment, you find that under Home and the Styles Gallery. If you don't see title on the very first few available ones, you open the gallery and you make it a title, which is not about cosmetics, not about making it big or bold. It's about giving it a meaning. That's the title of the document for search engines, for AI, for anything else that looks, catalogs, analyzes your document. Then it says to give it a size 20. And I'm going to save. Next instruction. Designate the title set FOT to 20. Press Enter after the title to start a new paragraph. And under the Insert tab, Object, Text from File, we're going to browse and open Document 1, which should be in your Downloads folder because you just downloaded it. Press Insert. The content of Document 1 is inserted into the current document. I press Enter. I go Insert, Object, Text from File. I go to my Downloads. Where are you? Downloads. Here's Document 1. Insert. It might appear on Windows with a question in the dialog whether to use source destination or source formatting or destination formatting. If it does, use destination. In other words, look at how it conformed to the style of this document, because originally Document 1 looked like this, but it forgot its original formatting and conformed itself to this. So now, of course, I'm going to save. And not surprising, after Document 1, it's not combine inside, it's just combine. We inserted, we did step 6, repeat last step again to insert Document 2. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm on a new paragraph. Insert, Object, not the whole object, but text from file, because all I'm interested in is the text. So back to my Downloads, Document, Insert, and you see how now it looks like they always belong together and they're just, it retained the designations of heading 1, heading 2, but not the colors or the fonts or the theme or the style. So they are unified. Next thing we're going to do, so we just inserted 2. We're going to, speaking of theme, we're going to change our theme to Office. How do we do that? Design, Themes, Office. Not Office 2000 whatever, but just Office. Remember, a theme is like a package deal of fonts, sizes, colors, lines, line margins, and so on. The next thing we're going to do, I don't like the way the normal paragraph is a little too tight, so we're going to change it. So to do that, select the first normal paragraph. It starts with the words video, provides, powerful ways. And then there's a difference between what Windows users will do and what Mac users will do. Windows users in the Home tab in the paragraph group are going to find this little icon, that little expander called Paragraph Settings, and click it. Mac users are going to bring your mouse to touch the top of the screen, find a menu called Format, and find the item paragraph. And after that, it opens exactly the same dialog. So 2 ways to get to the same dialog. So since I am using a Mac, I'm going to move my mouse to the top, because sometimes if Word is maximized, some Mac users go, where are all those, menus on the top? And you need to touch the top of the screen to see them. This is why I usually don't like maximizing the window, because I like to see them at all times. But in any case, there's a menu called Format, and under Format, Paragraph. As soon as we open this dialog, it has exactly the same things on Mac and Windows. And what are we going to do on this dialog? Paragraph Settings dialog appears, setting line spacing to double. I want double spacing. And then, of course, press OK to get rid of it. Instead of single, double. Line spacing, double. I need to, first of all, select this. Sorry, I'm going to do the same thing. Format. Paragraph. You need to select the paragraph, otherwise it doesn't know what to apply it to. And double. And OK. Now what just happened? It changed the paragraph that I had selected to double, but all the other paragraphs are not double. So do I go through all the whole menu, select, make it double, select, make it double? No, it doesn't make sense. What I am going to do, which is the next step, is go home, find the style called normal, right-click on it. We already did that in previous assignments. Right-click on it and go update normal to match selection. Or in other words, hey Words, see this paragraph? Consider that the new normal. Make all the other normal paragraphs look like it. Click, and it made all the paragraphs look like it, which of course is a good time to save. Or if we read the wording from the instructions, in Home, Styles, find the normal style thumbnail, right-click, select Update Normal to match selection, and it updates all the normal. Then we're going to insert a table. We're going to place the insertion point right before the first normal paragraph with, again, the one that says video provides powerful ways, and insert a table by going to the Insert tab, Table, Insert Table. There's more than one way, but this one I think is the most straightforward and controllable. In the dialog that appears, we're going to enter 3 columns and 4 rows. So, right before video provides powerful ways, right here. So it's after the first heading, but before the first paragraph. Insert, tables right here. Open the menu, insert table, 3 columns, let me make sure. 4 rows. 3 columns, 4 rows. And I got myself a table with 3 columns and 4 rows. The next step. In the table, enter on the top row the words song, artist, and year, just like here. Song, artist, and year. And on the other 3 rows, enter 3 songs, any songs you like, the name of the artist, and the year. Don't use the ones in the screenshot. Don't use the ones I'm about to use in this example. I want your taste. You need to be original. It's one of the ways that you prove authenticity, and they didn't copy it from anyone. So, song, artist, year. If you need to do some research to find out what year that song you like came out, it shouldn't be hard to find. So let's say song Piano Man by Billy Joel. And let's say a song called Starman by David Bowie. And give people the respect by capitalizing their name. This is 1973. This one is 1972. Yes, I know I'm revealing my age by my choices. And what else did I use in the example? Beautiful by Christina Aguilera. I'm going to use something else in this example. Let's say Nice by Jane C. And let's say that came out in 2008. I got my songs, I got my artists. Of course, you're going to fill it up with your favorite songs and favorite artists as long as you got the year. The next thing to do is to give the table some style. We're going to select the table, which is that little icon on the top left. We're going to see it in a second, and change the table style to a style called Grid Table 4 Accent 1. Where do we find that? In the gallery of tables. There's Grid Tables, Table 4 Accent 1. It's the one that has like solid dark blue on the top, and the other rows are banded. In other words, odd, even, odd, even. Grid Table 4 Accent 1. How do I do that? To select the table, you see this little handle on the top of the table? If I click it, it selects the whole table. Then there's going to be 2 tabs when a table is selected. Table Design and Table Layout. The gallery is in Table Design. I'm going to open the gallery, which of course on Mac is done on the bottom center. On Windows, there's going to be an arrow on the bottom right. And here are the grid tables. It's like categories, and here's the one I'm looking for. When you roll your mouse over it, it gives you its name, grid table 4, accent 1, click. Looks much nicer. The table should look like, and it does. Then we're going to use this opportunity to insert page numbering. Windows users are going to go to the Insert tab, header and footer group, and simply find a button called Page Number. And in the Page Number menu, you're going to select Top of Page, Plain Number 3. It's the one where the numbers aligned right. And then in the Header and Footer tab, you click X to close it. Mac users, slightly different. I'm a Mac user. I'm going to show it, like a Mac. Insert tab, Header and Footer group, Page Number. And in the page number select, and instead of, the real tiny difference is instead of a style called Plain Number 3 on Windows, on Mac it's called a style called Position Top of Page, Alignment Right, and select Show Number on First Page. So I'm going to do it the Mac way. Insert, page number, not bottom of page, but top of page, alignment right, show number on first page. Again, in class, I'm going to show how this is going to look like on Windows. In any case, it's very similar. In Windows, when you go insert page number, you open this and it just shows a gallery of styles. And one of the first ones on the top, I believe like the third one, is simply called Plain Number 3. Okay, so header and footer group, a menu called page number. This is for most of my students who are Windows users. And in the page number menu, select top of page, Plain Number 3. So there's like a group of different styles. One of them is called top of page, and in that top of page, there's a style called Plain Number 3. And you'll know it's the right one because it's the one where it's aligned right. So in both cases, for both Mac and Windows users, we ended up with page numbering. On the top, this is page 1, and here's page 2, and here's page 3, and so on. It's automatic. Save. Back to the instructions. For both Windows and Mac users, there should be a page number now on the top right in every page. Next, in the Design tab, we're going to insert a watermark, and this is a lot of times done for like security reasons or ownership reasons. If you're a Windows users, in the watermark menu, you're going to select Custom Watermark and dialog opens. Mac users will see this dialog right after pressing watermark. So Windows users will have one extra step. There's going to be a watermark menu, and you're going to open it and see the command Custom Watermark. Mac users don't have a menu. They just have a button, and the same dialog opens. So it's in the Design tab. And like I said, Windows users are not going to see just a button but a drop-down menu where it's going to say custom menu. Mac users just click watermark and dialog appears. Now in that dialog, we want the watermark to be a text. The default like placeholder text is the word ASAP, and we're going to replace it with, did I want the full name or did I want just the last name? Your full name. So let's say that my full name is Joe Smith. The only other change that I want you to make, again, on Windows, those options are located differently, but they are still the same options, is I want it to be diagonal, so it gives me like a, like a preview of diagonal. No other options need to be changed. Let's make sure. So just text, your name, and diagonal. Also size auto. Diagonal, size auto, no need to change anything else. So the first page should look something like this after, of course, I click OK on the dialog. So no need to change the font, No need to change bold or italic or transparency or the font color, just diagonal and size auto, which again might appear cosmetically different on Windows, but the same options are there. Okay, and see how it inserts like a watermark. And of course, I need you to have your real name there. Let's see if we're done. That's it. The first page should look something like this, and of course it inserts it on every page. You're going to save, you're going to exit Word, and of course, assuming you remembered where you saved it, you're going to submit to this assignment box by the due date. Good luck. So I'm going to do the similar thing. I'm going to save one last time and exit Word, which of course on Mac you could do by clicking on the top left. On Windows, the X is going to be on the top right. But in any case, if I forgot to save, I can also close all the other documents. If I forgot to save, it'll warn me, hey, do you want to close, save before you close? And of course, we want to save. Good luck.